Hi everyone, welcome back. We just finished the Easter Open here about a week ago, and I want to videos here before they get erased. And pretty much everything in my head still basically a bit rusty, but we'll run through the videos here. And I'm going to try to talk a little bit about Pro at the same time as I played Pro, but I'm not going to put out the Pro video here. It's just a little bit too much. So anyways, we'll talk about Pro a little bit. All the holes are pretty much similar. There's just a slight bit of difference in what clubs you use and what ball you use, that's all. So anyway, here, playing this hole is basically just doing a jump over top of the sand trap, because I wouldn't advise the rough bump. If you play the rough bump to basically hit the rough and roll onto the green, with that type of shot you want to put as much right spin as possible and about a bar or two of top spin. The problem with that is if you don't hit perfect, it's an unpredictable shot. It could either stay in the rough or go into the rough on the left hand side, end up in the sand trap. So I wouldn't really advise a rough bump unless you hit perfect, like I said. And so I always like to go with the sand trap jump here, which I'll show you in this shot. With this sand trap shot, you want to use a high accuracy club, which is a quarterback in this case. And if you have lower end quarterbacks, you want to use a power 1 or a power 2 ball. My quarterback's a little bit higher end, so I get away with a power 1 ball. And if you're doing this, you always want to give yourself a little bit of leeway. So you want to set the target up with at least 2 bars away from the sand trap in case you hit great. And what you want to do is you want to give it as much backspin as you can too as well. And what I did was, I believe, is I give this a little bit of overpower just to make sure that we were going to clear the see, as you can see, I give it just a slight bit of overpower because we want to make that jump over the top of the sand trap. And you give it as much left spin as possible. So that's why we use the Quasar. It's got more left spin in it. And give it about, what did we give it? About a half a ball curl here. And full backspin. And you want to play basically Pro the same way. But instead of using a Quasar, you're more than likely going to be going with a power 3 ball. And you want to use a club as well that has as much backspin as possible. So you could use an extra mile if it's a higher end level one, because the lower end level ones don't have that much backspin. And if you got a Thor's hammer, that would be good too, because the Thor's hammer has a lot of backspin. And I would play the shot roughly the same way. Give yourself a couple rings away from the rough as you do in Rookie, and give it as much backspin as possible. And with the Thor's hammer, you might have to give it a slight bit of overpower, as I did with my quarterback here. And that's basically how you play Rookie and Pro. So we'll catch you on hole 2. Thanks, folks.